Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever found yourself needing to get up to speed on a critical industry topic, maybe specialized equipment, and wishing there was like a shortcut to the really essential insights?
That happens all the time, right? Especially in high-stakes fields.
Totally. So today we're taking a deep dive into the world of industrial tools. We're focusing specifically on equipment designed for safety and efficiency in really demanding environments.
And crucially, how these tools are procured. That side is just as important.
Exactly. We've got some interesting information here, drawn from promotional content about AMPCO industrial tools and also PEnergy.com. They position themselves as a wholesale supplier in this space.
Right. Two sides of the coin, the product and the supply chain.
Precisely. So our mission for you today is to pull out the most important nuggets from these sources. We want to help you understand the maybe game-changing benefits of AMPCO products.
And how a strategic supplier, like PE Energy claims to be, can actually be a partner, helping industrial businesses move forward.
Yeah. So whether you're, say, a procurement manager in oil and gas, heavy industry, utilities, manufacturing, or maybe you're just really curious about this stuff.
This should be insightful.
We think so. And here's where it gets really interesting. We're talking about a world where your tools aren't just designed to do a job, but to fundamentally revolutionize safety and reliability too.
It's a step beyond just basic functionality.
Okay, so let's start with the tools themselves. The sources really put AMPCO tools at the heart of the action, kind of like a gold standard.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about them fundamentally that makes them so indispensable in these tough environments?
Well, I think the key takeaway from the materials is that these aren't just, your average tools. They're engineered for places where failure is simply not an option. Catastrophic consequences, potentially.
Right.
So their core attributes offer real strategic advantages. Take the non-sparking quality. That's huge.
Okay.
It's not just a feature. It's absolutely critical in explosive atmospheres. Think oil rigs, refineries, anywhere volatile.
Sure, makes sense.
The sources hammered this home. One steel spark could mean a shutdown, or far worse, a tragedy. So these tools basically zero out that specific fire risk.
Which helps meet OSHA regulations, I assume.
Exactly. It's about compliance, yes, but more fundamentally, it's about protecting people and the entire operation. It avoids incredibly costly incidents.
Okay, so non-sparking is one. What else?
Then there's the non-magnetic characteristic. This is vital in really sensitive environments.
Like what, for example?
Think MRI facilities, certain types of specialty manufacturing, maybe power plants, places where stray magnetic fields or, electric arcs could corrupt data, damage equipment, disrupt critical processes.
Okay, so it prevents interference.
Precisely. It maintains operational integrity, where magnetism is a definite problem. And then there's corrosion resistance.
Ah, important for harsh conditions.
Absolutely. Chemical plants, offshore rigs, any really wet industrial setting,
Okay.
standard tools just rust out, right?
Yeah, you'd be replacing them constantly.
And that means downtime, unpredictable performance, maintenance headaches. AMPCO tools, according to the sources, just hold up. They last longer, which ultimately lowers your total cost of ownership. Less replacement, less hassle.
And beyond those specific safety points.
The sources consistently mention their durability and precision as well. They're engineered to, outperform and outlast standard tools. You get reliable performance.
So it really goes beyond just having a tool that works. It's about what? The confidence. Knowing your equipment is actively reducing risk.
Exactly. It turns those potential close calls, those moments when a wrench slips or something sparks, into non-events. It provides a different level of operational security. Peace of mind, really.
Yeah, I can see that. Imagine the peace of mind knowing your tools are literally like insurance against downtime. Okay, so we understand the why. Let's get into the what. Can you give us some specific examples of these tools and where they're used?
Sure. The materials offer some good illustrations. For instance, they mention a wrench X key, 24 millimeter.
Okay, sounds pretty standard.
Well, yes and no. The sources describe it as a marvel of engineering, designed for complex tasks that need finesse, even in hazardous spots.
Because of the non-sparking, non-magnetic stuff.
Spot on. Those properties make it ideal for sensitive operations where a tiny slip or spark could be disastrous. Offshore, complex utility work, things like that.
Got it. What else?
They also highlight slide sledge tools. These sound pretty heavy-duty.
Right.
They're described as heavy-duty masterpieces for delivering precise impacts. Think drive bars, utility wedge tips. They're engineered not just for force, but for controlled force.
So, streamlining operations, making things more efficient.
And safer, too. By ensuring the impact is exact, they redefine efficiency in those heavy-duty tasks.
Okay. Any others jump out?
Yeah, combination wrenches get a mention, again highlighting precision, durability, and that crucial zero risk of sparking. Perfect for working in confined spaces, potentially hazardous zones.
Makes sense.
And bar crow tools,
Yeah.
described as tough, non-magnetic options for heavy prying, aligning, lifting. The idea is they help achieve reduced injury reports by offering safer leverage.
More control, less risk.
Exactly. They specifically call out the W29 bar crow, the 18-inch OAL, OEL meaning overall length,
Right.
presented as that classic multi-use lever, but corrosion-proof and built for brute force jobs without compromise.
So you can really see how these aren't just generic off-the-shelf tools. They feel like tailored solutions for very specific high-stakes industrial needs.
Definitely. From, building out a whole plant to just refilling your tool crib after a shutdown, they seem designed for purpose.
Which brings us neatly to the next piece. Once you know what tools you need, the question becomes how you get them effectively.
The procurement side, always critical.
And this is where PEnergy.com comes into the picture in our source materials. They position themselves quite boldly, not just as a distributor.
No, they use terms like wholesale gladiator, right?
Yeah.
And a partner in annihilating inefficiencies. Strong language.
Very strong. So what's the unique value they claim to offer beyond just, shipping boxes?
Well, a key thing they emphasize is being an industry-leading one-stop shop. That's a central claim.
Okay, comprehensive.
And perhaps more tangibly, they make a big deal about having real inventory.
The procurement manager's nightmare stuff being out of stock or delayed.
Exactly. Their material states, pretty directly, everything we list is on hand because next week isn't good business.
That's a bold claim. But if true, that's a huge advantage.
It really is. It allows companies to keep projects moving, respond faster to maintenance needs, especially if the supply chain is unpredictable. It means less waiting.
Faster completion, less downtime. Makes sense. What about cost?
They definitely push the bulk pricing and wholesale angle. The focus seems to be on cost savings, particularly for those big recurring orders that companies have, lowering that total cost of ownership again.
Okay.
Another aspect is expert help. They claim their team talks tools in your language.
Meaning they understand the specific industrial needs?
Apparently so. The idea is they help buyers spec it right the first time, avoiding mistakes, avoiding those paperwork headaches. They also mention guidance on custom tools or navigating new regulations.
So kind of de-risking the procurement process itself.
That seems to be the implication. And they talk about SKU depth. Basically, if AMPCO makes it, they either stock it or can source it pronto, covering the whole operation from small hex keys to big sledges.
Covering all the bases.
Right. And then there's the customer service piece. They frame it as being an extension of your team, aiming for a seamless but transformative experience.
Lofty goals.
It all ladders up to their idea of strategic procurement. Buying smart, specing right, cutting the red tape.
Do they mention specific procurement nightmares they solve?
Yes, they do. They address confusing compliance, claiming one call gets you compliant, guaranteed, which suggests they really know the regulations inside out.
That would be a relief for many buyers, I imagine.
For sure. They also talk about tackling last-minute quotes with quick, accurate pricing to keep projects on track.
Preventing delays.
And finally, service after the sale. Things like warranty support, help with reordering, so you're not just left hanging after the delivery truck pulls away.
Okay, so if you're someone who absolutely refuses to gamble on safety, or you can't afford downtime, juggling suppliers, dealing with dodgy quotes, that's not progress, right?
Not at all. It actively holds you back.
It really sounds like PE Energy is positioning itself as the antidote to all that procurement complexity, the single source solution.
That's certainly the message coming through in their materials.
So let's pull this all together. When we look at both the AMPCO tools and the PE Energy supply model, what's the bigger picture here? What's the main takeaway?
I think a really critical insight from this deep dive is that, well, it isn't just about the tools themselves, the physical objects.
Okay.
It's about understanding how the right product, specialized, safe, reliable, combined with a really efficient and supportive supply partner, how that combination becomes more than just operational necessity.
It becomes something else.
Yeah, it becomes a genuine competitive edge. It directly impacts your safety record, your compliance standing, and ultimately your bottom line.
Right. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? It means you should think about tool procurement not just as buying a wrench or a hammer.
It's an investment.
Exactly. An investment in performance, in reliability, and honestly, in peace of mind. It's about making sure every bolt, every nut, every process in your operation is working flawlessly to drive productivity and growth.
Allowing you to, as the source material hinted, sleep a bit easier knowing things are sound.
Totally. Knowing your operations are robust, secure.
And if we connect this to the broader strategic landscape, this deep dive really illustrates something important,
What's that?
that choosing the right specialized tools and the right kind of strategic supplier, it isn't just an operational decision or a maintenance task.
It's more fundamental.
Yes.
Yep.
It functions as a core risk management strategy and, frankly, a financial strategy for any serious industrial enterprise today.
That's a powerful way to frame it. Which leads us to a final thought, something for you to consider after this deep dive.
Okay.
How might applying these principles we've discussed, extreme reliability, advanced safety, the one-stop shop strategic partnership idea?
Like we saw with AMPCO and PE Energy.
Exactly. How might applying those principles transform other critical high-stakes areas within your own operations beyond just the tools we talked about today?
Interesting question. Applying that mindset elsewhere.
Yeah. Could that unlock new levels of efficiency, resilience, maybe even that operational confidence we mentioned?
Food for thought.
Definitely something to think about as you continue exploring what it means to be truly well-informed in your field.